Welcome everybody to this mini lecture going over underlying structures in visual design. This is from the Design and Layout PDF in your required readings. This is the section that I really want to focus on. However, before this section, there is the history of advertisements. There are some examples from the history of advertising. And then there's also a little review on the elements of art and the principles of design. Okay. So one thing that I did want to make note when you're looking at the history of advertisement is how when we start advancing with technology, our graphic designs advance as well. Okay. In the beginning, it was very text-based, then it had some images, and then once we started working on the computer, you can really see that shift in aesthetics. So as you look through the history of advertising, just kind of keep in mind the difference between when advertising first started and where we're at now, and how the advancements in technology helped us to create much more stunning and captivating images. Okay? But for this quick little lecture, I really want to talk about underlying structures in visual design. Okay? This is kind of an advanced topic, but it's something that I want you to at least start thinking about, okay? So when we talk about visual underlying structures, we first talk about direction, okay? What's the direction that you want your viewers' eyes to go? Which direction do you want the viewer to enter your image, and which way do you want their attention to go? Okay, so in this example, we start from the upper left and we move through the image to the graphic at the lower right hand corner. Okay, this is another example of direction. Okay, this is where the artist is taking the viewer's eyes and creating what's called a forced perspective. Okay, so our eyes enter here and then they move to this smaller point. Okay, this is another example of direction. This one is a linear direction. We start here on the left and we move to the right. Okay. This layout is a grid style layout. Okay. So if we dissect it, we see that there is, it's created in a grid. Okay. We have the bottom grid, we have the middle, it's separated into two, and then we have the top that's separated into two. Okay. And then piggybacking off of grid, we have module, okay? Module it's very modular, okay? So this is the breakdown of module. Then we have irregular module, where it's not so much sticking to a extreme grid pattern. I mean, it is a grid pattern, but the grids aren't the same. Like, these grid windows are the same size. In an irregular module, the grid windows are different sizes. Okay. Then we have triangular, which is structural. Okay. And you can see that triangle right there, where the individuals face and head is the top of the triangle, and then shoulders, and then the very base of the triangle is the slogan, "You deserve a decent sandwich." Okay. And then we have inverted triangular. So we see that the butterfly wings are creating the base of the triangle, and then the face or the head of the model is the apex of the triangle. Okay. So this is triangle inverted. Then we have triangulation. Okay. So the model's eyes are triangulating, and it's moving our eyes from her eyes to the flames to the brand or logo, and then back up to her. Okay. We have triangulation here. Similar scenario. We've got the eyes or the top of the hat to the Erlenmeyer flask to the logo for Denver Water. Okay. A triangulation of focus here. Okay. So the artist is using the eyes, the viewpoints of the models or the characters to move our eyes. Okay, so we've got these eyes, the couple, and then we have the model sitting on the chair, and then we have the eyes of the bust on the old school TV. And then we've got two triangulations of focus in this particular image as well. So we've got the first one that we talked about, and then with the bust, it's triangulating down to to these products that Zenith is selling. Okay. Okay, and that's just the skeleton of this. Okay. Again, we have a combination of triangulation of focus. Okay, so we have our first triangulation of focus, and we have our second. Okay. So the artist is intentionally utilizing where the eyes would be in order to move the viewer's eyes throughout the composition. So the artist is intentionally placing these elements in the composition so that your eyes move through the imagery the way that the artist wants you to. And this one is even more complicated. Okay. I don't want you to become overwhelmed with this concept. I just want you to think about it and know that it is a thing. And when you are feeling comfortable with it, I want you to try to incorporate it intentionally in some of your pieces moving forward. Okay. And finally, we've got this complex triangulation of focus. Okay. So we've got the eyes, the Pepsi Cola bottle cap, we have the eyes, then we have Pepsi Cola bottle cap, Pepsi Cola, we've got person on beach blanket, back up to Pepsi Cola, and then we've got all of that we just talked about, and then we've got this triangulation of focus as well. So there's three separate and intentional triangulations of focus to not only increase the interest of the composition, but also get your eyes to move where the artist wants your eyes to move. Okay, so there's a lot of power in intentionally creating these designs where we're intentionally moving our audience's eyes through the composition. Okay. This is complex field. I almost forgot. Okay. This is also a complex field. Oh, and then there's arcs. Arcs are fun. Arcs feel very modular, grid-like, except there's arcs, which really break up that linearness and create a lot of interest. Okay, so there's arcs, there's circular. This is also a very great example of circular. There's side by side. Okay. And then these are some examples I want you to just practice on your own. Like, what would this one be? I see an obvious triangulation. Okay. And the other ones are just for you to practice, to kind of brainstorm on what do you think they are. Okay. So that's it for this very quick little lecture, just going over the underlying layout in visual design. And really, it's only to start planting the seed in your mind about these underlying structures. Okay? So I hope that this was informational for you, and that you can, and now you feel like you have another tool for your tool belt. And I will see you in the next video, and I really appreciate your time. Thanks, guys. Bye.